Good afternoon, everyone. It's 12:37 on the clock. The 12 is the hangman, seeing things from a new perspective, being wise, and the 37 of the King of Cups, unconditional love. So I have two messages of the day, very in-depth messages were coming out there, and I have a union read and a twin flame read. So again, if you can't watch all of them, certainly pick out what you want to watch. We're going to first take a deep breath, actually 3 deep breaths, so let's go ahead and do that. Take a deep breath. Take another deep breath. And one more deep breath. Sending lots of love and blessings to everybody. I hope you're having an amazing day. It's a beautiful sunny day here. My grass just got cut. And it was so funny. Yesterday, my cardinal that I told you about before with the markings that literally look like he's got like dark black shades on. He came to visit me again yesterday afternoon. So funny. I went back to get my camera so I could take a picture of him out the back window. When I got back, he wasn't there. And then when I put my camera back down, and then I came back again, he was there again. And I did the same thing, he disappeared. So he was definitely playing games with me, which is a message there. Again, yesterday morning and this morning, it was very calm and quiet out front when I went outside to gauge the energies. There wasn't a lot of movement. It was very beautiful, silent, and calm. So I'm going to show you the pictures. We're going to roll the die and get right into these reads because the messages of the day ended up being very in-depth. One was last night and then one this morning. And so here we have the pictures. This is the first message from last night. Here is the message from this morning. This is a close-up of the 3 cards from the Animal Spirit deck and very much represents the masculine and the feminine and the crown chakra here. We have the union read here, the Syrian Starseed deck. This is the 4D, 5D, 6D, feminine left, masculine right, bridge between in the center, incoming feminine, outgoing divine masculine, the underlying energies, and the closing energies here. The read in front of you is here, the basic read, again, the Syrian Starseed deck, and the full 7 deck read is here. Okay. So it is a general reading. If something doesn't resonate with you, don't force it to fit. If you want something more personalized, my information is below as well as on my website, twinflames3344.com. And I also have a CD out there called Ashes, Twin Towers to Twin Flames by Evelyn Stainthorpe if you want to check it out. And let's get right into the messages here. Okay, we're going to roll the die. This is for the twin flames. Yay, twin flames, twin flames. Here we go. We have the South Node coming up, which is in Sagittarius, letting go, releasing of Sagittarius energies. We have the Leo energy here. And we have the number 9. So the 9 is the Hermit, the month we're in, Virgo. It's also the collective consciousness, the endings and compassion that we need to have in those endings. So again, we have Leo, Virgo, and then Sagittarius coming up. And Leo and Virgo are both mutable signs. There's a lot of flexibility going on in the energy today. Plus Leo, perhaps the inner child is coming out, being more playful and easygoing in this calm energy. So first, the messages of the day. And today is the 7th of September. It was the new moon between last night and early this morning, depending on where you are in the world. So we definitely have the new moon. I believe it's new moon in Virgo. And Yeah, crazy energies came up with these messages here. The 7 for today is the Chariot, and the day adds up to the 21, which is completion, the world, coming full circle. Also, the energy out in the world. This can be the neighborhood as well. It can be the authenticity of the divine feminine, marching to the beat of their own drum, carrying those 2 strands of DNA, right? One for her, one for the masculine, passing the baton in the 4th quarter, so to say, or so to speak. So again, the energy of the 7 was very prevalent here as well, the number 7. And we talked about 7 being the loneliest number as the 1, right? Because 7 is out of this world. So it's coming up instead of the 1 as 1 being the loneliest number here. Okay, so this first message of the day was done at 11 o'clock last night to 11:03 is when the cards were being dealt. The 4 decks are the Animal Spirit Guidebook, the Lenormand Reverie, the Gilded Tarot, and the Kipper deck. So the message of the day for the first message last night was the buffalo and the underlying energies, along with the ring, which I think had come up yesterday, and then the Queen of Cups and the mature woman, which can reference 2 different women, one older, one younger, but also mother and daughter energy, and commitments, and the buffalo here. So we have Mr. Ed, who came up before the buffalo, which you always, if you watch me regularly, you know that I call God Mr. Ed, and also that Saggy energy, because God always references their birthdays being in the time of Sagittarius, as Jesus being January 7th and God being December 7th. I've also gotten the 13th though, so 7 and 13 in December. But again, it makes sense because that's Sagittarius is all about knowledge and expansion of oneself. Mr. Ed comes up here, rising from the ashes gracefully on the Serengeti plains, right? A very calm place where there's beautiful animals and beautiful sights to see. But where the dolphin is a fish out of water, right? In the desert there, or the jungle, meeting, the plains, I should say, in the jungle, the fish out of water meets the buffalo, who's well grounded and heavenly. From the stars, perhaps in a spaceship, 2 wise owls anchor in a commitment. And again, this can reference the star seeds. After ghosting crazy person and coming out on the journey, implementing a plan with the Queen of Cups, Cinderella with the evil stepmother comes up, as I actually ended up watching 2 movies last night, Afterlife of the Party and A Cinderella Story, which I'd seen before, but I was kind of just in the mood for something light and romantic like A Cinderella Story, which it is. It's a very sweet movie. So again, Cinderella and the stepmother was coming up, and the mature man receiving a gift from their occupation or workplace perhaps, or the occupation of wealth and honor, or a wealthy son, or this could be a financial advisor as well, sending a message to the mature woman. The buffalo turned away from their commitment to the Queen of Cups and the mature woman or mother. And the buffalo comes up as a very well-grounded yet heavenly person, very well balanced. And they're not easily swayed either way. They're very grounded in themselves. So but here the buffalo is turned away from their commitment to the Queen of Cups and mature woman or mother. So it's saying, the buffalo doesn't usually shirk their responsibilities. So if they have turned away from this energy, there is a very significant reason. So the summary here is the marriage of convenience, perhaps, for man thinking of another, a privileged lady and lover, and or death, or lady with message from an official man about imprisonment and despair, and facing this lady with expectations at the big house. So whether it's a wealthy house or whether it's prison, both of those can come up. Again, the 2 sides of the polarity, the very rich and then those imprisoned. So the first pile out it starts out the dear one again, which a lot of channelers come through as addressing you as dear ones. Dear one, the lucky clover with 4 wishes, starting over in love, over and over, right? Clover over and over. The marriage this time, but it's marriage this time, so there is commitment here. The second pile about Lionsgate journey and the need of help or a missed opportunity for impoverished boys, so perhaps feeling they missed out on the opportunity to graduate this year. The curious otter, so cute and cuddly, popping up over families that are conflicted about the thoughts about this lady while the group is fighting amongst themselves. And the fourth pile regarding the firefly, who's inspired in the direction of the spider web, which is kind of like the lion's den, right? They're in charge of their territory. Falling for the privileged lady, impatient fallen angel, excited to see her. And I'm having a lot of trouble getting sentences out of my mouth today. And again, I had said that last time I said I was having trouble talking, it was because Mercury was in Venus, which, you know, Mercury's natural placement would be Virgo. And I am Virgo, but my Mercury placement is not. It's Libra, which makes it very difficult for me to connect my thoughts to my mouth sometimes. So I don't always come off very well. It's very hard for me to articulate. So the fifth card here is 1125, is Justice, Truth, and Balance, and the 25 of the Knight of Wands. The spider web, or the spider in their web, right at center point, crossing bridges to the Page of Cups, that very innocent energy, lover or affection for a child, and puppy love comes up here as well. So it could be puppy love of a love. It can be a child or an animal as well. And then the bear navigating the labyrinth, right? Peeling back the layers of the onion. In the aftermath of death, dark night of the soul, or the dark night, the end, the transition, or the case is just closed. The seventh pile is the frog in the rain, right? The frog that hasn't become the prince. With the dark mother, the stepmother, the evil mother, and the powers that be, polarized and not working, or got caught not working, with someone else messaging to the lady. And again, here, ladies in power are coming up very much so with the stepmother. And then today, you'll see the next message was crazy with the power mother, because the queen came up. The eighth pile here was the tiger. And as soon as I went to the tiger, and all of the animal spirit cards that were laid out in a row, they were all looking to the tiger, right? They were all looking their way, except for the deer one. The deer was looking forward, and maybe the frog, but it was like the energy of the whole line looking at the tiger, right? The one who's looking face forward, right in the eye, right? They're the ones with the power. And then at 1138, which is the Queen of Cups, the 38/11 is the Queen of Cups, but 11 is also Justice. We have in this card, the Gilded Tarot, the Queen of Cups is very much Cinderella, or that energy of Juliet. So today, as I was watching the movie last night, he says to her, on September 7th, and today is September 7th, he said, on September 7th, I wrote you that I live in a world of people pretending to be something they're not. But when I talk to you, that I want to be. Give me a chance to be that guy. So this is the guy talking to the girl in the movie last night. On September 7th, I wrote you that I live in a world of people pretending to be something they're not. But when I talk to you, I become that I want to be. Give me a chance to be that guy. So, and this is the cute boy talking to the cute girl, right? So the tiger is abundant, loving man with home, letting go to fix things with this person, obviously, because the movie obviously is coming up as the energies that wanted to be portrayed to you. The tiger, abundant, loving man, right, who usually gets his way, he's the tiger, right? All the girls like the tiger. But he's letting go to fix things with this one girl because she is the one that makes him feel different. To wake up and transform officially from his inner prison and being in despair, or someone could be in prison as well, the lady in waiting at the big house or at the costume ball. So dear one, the lion, the otter, the firefly, the spider, that's the one. The spider is not necessarily looking that direction, but they're in the center of their world. Dear one, the lion, the otter, the firefly, the spider, the bear, and the frog are all looking at the tiger. All eyes on them. Dear one, stunned and vulnerable, right? So the one who's usually really confident and always gets their way is all of a sudden vulnerable and stunned and humbled, right? Because they don't usually feel that way. They always feel in control. Getting their wish, riding the rainbow through the family tree, directed northeast or the corner of the web, twin bridges to the other side through the maze, or corn, which I don't usually get that, and with amazing grace. The mama bear with the money or abundance, and the tiger after it, the loving man with the house or the union. And again, this can be a boy with his mother, after the mother's money. This could be a mother-in-law as well. But I wasn't getting it necessarily in a stealing way. It's just that energy of wanting to impress the girl, right? So starting over the Page of Pentacles reversed, fighting the fallen angel, whether that's another person or your inner self, the Page of Cups avoiding disaster, almost caught, missing from work, and letting go, putting their cards all on the line, making an announcement, ending the night, and again, like the party's over. The dreams of Cinderella and the orphan boy or girl humbled, the man with thoughts of a new lady after perhaps the privileged lady lover is over, putting it in writing officially, or again, making it official, imprisoned and in despair, the lady with the big house turning him down, or him assuming that that will happen because that's what happened in the past. So again, it is either the popular masculine guy falling for, the girl, the humble girl with no means or a humble background, or the masculine who got screwed over by that high school girl when he was in high school and assumes that any girl with money will now be a B, right? When that's not the case, okay? So those energies were coming up. So then this morning, like I said, it was very calm again outside. There was a helicopter. I've been getting a lot of helicopters crossing really close to my home. And this morning it was at 9:17, which is the Hermit and the Star. So at 9:17 was when I pulled the message of the day for today, the Hermit and the Star, with the underlying energy of the hawk clearing the way for the crowning moment of the Lamb, with a target over their head, which is interesting because I just said the helicopter had just gone overhead, and the geese flew by at 9:27. 9 the Hermit, 27 is that Ace of Wands, that igniting that new passion. So with a target over their head, or depending on your perspective, the diamond light with cosmic egg, which is the crown chakra, and the peacock with a crown built into their head with multiple golden eyes, new feathers or new hairs growing straight up, plants or hair cut back, cosmic opening to light and love. All right, so the cosmic chakra there, or the crown chakra, is coming up as opening up to love and light, but also the hairs are being very emphasized here regarding maybe you'll see some hairs that all of a sudden are sticking up and you can't get them to lay flat. It's because they're kind of like on high alert to the connections that they're getting, but also talking about cutting hair back or cutting plants back, for new growth. There's a reference to that. And then all of a sudden I'm getting from the messages and the words in the cards, I was getting all of these references to people and words. So here goes. So if it relates to you, please let me know. And by the way, earth and air were coming up as very significant. So the play between the earth signs and the air sign is very in focus today. So number 1, Lacoste came up, and a whole bunch of designers were coming up here. The peacock of Lacoste, and also the Kos, which my father's nickname was Kos, but also there's an island, a Greek island called Kos, C-O-S. And then Waco was coming up. So Waco, Texas came up, as well as LA or Louisiana and Colorado or Canada. And Lamb Company also came up, as well as LA or the company Lamb, like I said. And actually I'm getting I Am That I Am as well coming up there. And the B note is coming up. I'm not sure why. And then Cope with this could be a masculine energy or a mic, or like I said, masculine. So again, the cock of the rooster versus the chicken coming up there, of being masculine versus feminine. And again, the reference to cope, so coping or the name Cope. And then LA Major Baseball came up, as well as the lack of a peacock. And that could be also, right, a man defending his manhood, right? Saying, how wonderful he is. And then the lake, so here's some of the messages that were coming through. Oh, and this was so funny too. One of the words that came up, literally lamb, L-A-M, one of the meanings is the frilled neck lizard. And according to Elena Denon, the Pleiadians call energy that we use to heal frill. And here's the frilled neck lizard, so who named that lizard? So that was coming up. So here are some of the messages that came through from all of these words. What else came through? Also, drinking and vomiting came up as well, so people out drinking too much. Okay, so a lake is coming up here. And that could be, lake on TV, but also an actual water lake. But female and young girls coming up in reference to the lake to forge, hammer, work at minimum wage in France. So again, this was, there's a lot of energy about slave labor and not treating your employees or your people correctly, right? Because the queen is going to be coming up here too. The peacock and the French attitude of snobbery. And the EPA, Pico, eggs, peas, and lamb came up, as well as the island of Kos and mice and Gigi as well. I think Gigi was a model, but I don't know if that's the reference here. So if Gigi comes up for you. The frilled neck lizard, because Mike egged Cope defiantly, needling, throwing spears at the creek or Cook Islands, Calvin Klein, and cytokeratin here coming up, as well as cytokine and creatine kinase all coming up, in addition to Calvin Klein. To beat, flee, or run away, very drunk and vomited, or paralyzed, weak, blue, and shudders. The sacrificial lamb, the cope needled, speared at the creek or at Cook Island. On the lamb, cop, together with, or to get even, in a surprise, endearment, or pity here. And then a bird hit my front window here at 10:11, which is the Wheel of Fortune and Justice. It was just a tap, it wasn't anything bad. But the sun beats, so in addition to the energy of beating or fleeing or running away, the sun was also coming up as the sun beating down. As the cosmic Pico is coming up regarding the sun. So the sun is the natural cosmic energy as opposed to Pico, which is an electric company. The cop or cope defiantly in a turned up fashion, so here the fashion industry is definitely coming up, needling, blading, and again that can have to do with your eyebrows as well, but needling and blading at the creek, Cook or Calvin Klein, and Cook can reference other things besides a cook. It can represent cooking and chefs, but also the company Cook, which is a medical company, and also, like I said, cytokine, creatine kinase, and cytokeratin were also coming up, which are more along the lines of health and medical care. I am that I am, L-I-M, cosmic peacock, fashionable Kos and Mike, or Cause and Mick, or Mickey coming up here. Lamb County, Texas came up. Work for women there, perhaps, and young girls, and that could be slave labor, perhaps. Eggs and peas, so it could be farming, but Company Creek also comes up here. A community of loving ladies in the sun, two as one, cracking the whip or impatient, or with rod and staff, and or rod and staff unions here. The present, the gift, the expansion and freedom of the Queen of Wands justice or loving lady or ladies have exposed the Queen of Wands' abuse of their employees. So again, that energy of fire energy at 10:24, which is again the Queen of Wands, and the 10 of a turn for the better. And again, the Queen's coming up, and I believe she's Aries. So there's that Aries energy. So we're talking about kind of like the stepmother, dark mother kind of energies today. So at 10:24, I turned the page, and my lawnmowers were here around 11:10, 11:20 today. And that's George, by the way. So Georges are also coming up. So Leo reversed and Cancer reversed, perhaps at war, to cause instability with new information coming in, which is kind of like advertisers online, causing people to go into fear. The Leo reversed and Cancer reversed, at war to cause instability with new information put out there. 2, the Queen of Pentacles, who is actually rock solid and stable, releasing or release with kids, right? So she doesn't need all that stuff. She releases with kids or twin or best friend or loving memories of the past and her childhood here. The concerned man with messages or messaging a woman at work to take a journey or take a train to sudden wealth or a casino to hit the jackpot with 777s. And the ladies in waiting, perhaps with expectation, or expects employee to travel, or hard-working woman took a journey because they were promised something and now waiting a long time for some kind of gift from the wealthy man, something promised that was not yet received. And again, that could be payment for a job that they were supposed to get paid for and haven't got paid for. Or just, again, it has to do with the journey and the divine feminine and masculine. So wealthy or fashionable lady cracking the whip with children, soulmate, or fond memories of a wealthy man in transition. Or a cocky female who cracks the whip with their kids or impatient with them while wealthy man supports them. So it's like the hard-ass mother while the father does all the work, which is very much my parents. You know, my mother, back in my day when I was growing up, because I'm in the older generation, the women mostly were housewives. So the women stayed home and took care of the kids and had to be the heavy hand, whereas the father was out making the money. So the first pile here was regarding the fire ant, the flowers, the gift, and the 3 of Pentacles upright of high honor. So low vibe, large group here with the fire ants, right? That's that very low vibration of the crowd, you know, seeing the accident, seeing the fight, seeing the beauty, but everybody wants a piece of them, right? It's that energy of the low vibration in a large group. It's that large, low vibe group offering flowers or a gift to the workplace or of high honor from the group, you know, on behalf of the group, or a 3-gun salute for a death. But the 3-gun salute at a death is usually actually 3 volleys done with a rifle as opposed to the term guns, right? The 21-gun salute is different than the 3 volley salute, which is that death salute with the rifles. So normally it's a 21-gun salute, you know, for the cream of the crop, right? For nations and things like that. There was actually a 101 salute for a kingdom, and 25 came up also for some, which was on the card for this salute as well, or 38-gun salute also came up. The U.S. usually uses a 21-gun salute or 1 salute, 1 gun per state of the Union. They used to do it that way. By the way, the list of gun salutes was the president's 21, the VP is 19. So again, here's that value again coming up as of people having different value for their life. That came up in the 9/11 movie I watched the other day. That same energy is coming up here, where they're putting a value on humans because of their position. The president gets 21 salutes, the VP gets 19, the chair of committees gets 17, the American ambassadors get 15, the major generals or rear admirals get 13, the American charges d'affaires get 11, or the lower half of the generals and admirals get 11. So, you know, who decides who's worth more than others, right? The 25-gun salute was coming up online as the Patriot Games, also the Sri Lanka Navy, the Red Rhino fireworks, the 25-gun salute lyrics, and also it was coming up as 4 Luxembourg 25 power guns used for salutes during World War II, named after the 4 daughters of the Grand Duchess Charlotte, Princesses Elizabeth, Marie Adelaide, and Marie de Bride and Alex. If I'm saying it wrong, saying one of the names wrong, sorry about that. And then also the energies of Napoleon Bonaparte came up, because in looking up the salutes, the year 1848 came up as one of the years when they started doing a certain practice. And that's also the year of Napoleon Bonaparte getting elected, 1848. And also Queen Elizabeth comes up here, and her birthday is 4/21/26, which is going from Aries to Taurus, so I don't know whether she's Aries or Taurus on the 21st, but she's 95 this year, and of course she lost her husband. So that was back in, Prince Philip died 4/9/21. He was actually 99 years old. It was 2 months shy of 100 years old. What came up in the news regarding Queen Elizabeth today, because they're talking about that Dark Mother energy, urging Prince Harry, and I don't know any of this stuff because I don't watch the news, but urges Prince Harry to have peace talks with Prince William and Charles, because I don't even know what he'd been doing. So I had to look up the fact that he lives in the United States because I didn't know that either. But when I looked up this stuff, the article came up, literally, as we have a peacock in the cards, eonline.com came up. So the E was pronounced, which comes up a lot for us, as well as the peacock. The picture of the peacock came up. This was E online. So when, again, we're talking about Elizabeth, who's E also. So when the Queen dies is one of the messages that is coming up when you look up Queen Elizabeth. London Bridge goes down. Charles becomes king. And in 2020, Harry and Meghan had moved to the US. Apparently they live in California. And are growing apart because they're growing apart from Will and Charles due to departure from the royal duties and also racist attitudes towards his actress wife. On March 8th, 21, there was an article about Queen Elizabeth II's Nazi salute from when she was a little girl, and her mother from 1933 surfaced. And again, these are these kind of wars they use to cause fear and lower people's vibrations. March 7th, 21, Queen Elizabeth, notice that's the day before the 8th when the Nazi salute was released, on 3/7 was her YouTube salute from her to the frontline workers across the Commonwealth, right, supporting their work while she sits in the castle, all right? So we have the two, the second pile here is the whale making cuts, frustrated by the mature woman. So again, the whale's coming up here as the, and I brought this up before, the whale on the raft who looks like they're going to die. And I brought this up before, these energies of perhaps there were issues with the whales going around. So I look up the whales. And there was a whale definitely needing a life raft here. 8/31/21, one of 5 whales that were transferred from Canada to Mystic, I assume that's Connecticut, the Mystic Aquarium. One of the male belugas died and the female was ill at that point. So I don't know if that whale survived and she's doing better. And then on September 6th, yesterday, a dead humpback whale washed up on Point Reyes Beach. And that was coming from a San Francisco reporter. So then back to the whale. The whale that was harmed due to cutbacks is coming from the messages from my cards. Frustrating mature woman, or cutbacks done by frustrated or childish mature woman. Either she was frustrated by the cutbacks or she was the one who did the cutbacks. Or talk about Harry and the Queen and hail to the Queen because of the Heil Hitler thing, and from her, or a woman of high honor. Perhaps the Queen is short-tempered after loss of Philip. And the third pile was coming up regarding the earthworm, the fox, the Ace of Wands reversed, and the marriage. The earthworm is shy, keeping their light to themselves, with the fox who is sly, leaving after gifting cuts, or flowers cut, or frustrated child at the workplace, and I was getting hot child in the city. Fox left the coop, or hen house, the marriage perhaps that was forced upon them by the woman of power, or shy fox is frustrated, or in a sexless marriage. Number 4 here is the dolphin, the mask, the 6 of swords reversed, and the main female. The dolphin is a very high vibe healer who may underestimate their own value. Seeks like-minded individual. So it sounds like a dating app, right? Seeks like-minded individual regarding masks, deception, and in need of peace or a peaceful place to live, as or with the main female here. Wealthy woman's son with a regular lady. So again, could be referencing that template of like Harry and Meghan and the Queen not approving of someone who's less than them. Wealthy woman's son with regular lady in marriage. Sun as a dolphin, and here this is coming up as the sun up in the sky, but also can reference as the sun. The sun as a dolphin, as opposed to a whale, as whales are washed up. So again, and the queen could be coming up more as the whale that's washing up, not doing well, but the dolphins are doing really well. So number 5 is the spider's colorful web at the tower or powers that be, and the page of pentacles reversed in need of help, not doing well or ill, a missed opportunity or unable to manifest the main female that they want, and perhaps sick about it, or a father who's sick and worried about his grown daughter unable to care for herself, or she's not meant for this world of patriarchal control. So this is a father recognizing that quality of the star seed perhaps in their child. The 6 here, 6 pile, is the raccoon with the mask, right? But here the raccoon is sad. And it was bringing up my cardinal friend, my cardinal bird in the back with the mask, who cracks me up. It was a really bright cardinal, like really bright, even kind of orangey red, where a lot of cardinals are more dark red. It was really bright. And they're very like happy-go-lucky, not like a serious cardinal, like I normally feel they are. They're not getting the raccoon's not getting their usual happiness here from sorting through trash, thinking of a sealed letter or document, or worried about information getting out about starting over in love, or at home, moving, or the usual, where one man's trash is the raccoon's treasure, but maybe not so much with this house or money pit, or concerns about prison, or being tied to the home or a lifestyle and just can't do it anymore. And here they're sad and giving up that life of trash. The queen and her adoring fans, the whale cracking the whip with rod and staff, and children for some, right? In the royal family, they're definitely some of the rod and staff are the children. The polarity of the elite and the people, the little man, the earthworm who's shy into themselves, and the happy-go-lucky dolphin, the spider perfectly happy to create their web over and over, and Clover is coming up again, and stay centered in their own life, and the raccoon who's free to be sad if they want to be, where the queen is not. The gift of cut flowers from her is coming up as the kiss of death, per the sly fly, or fox, who knows this honor oh too well, and skips out rather than facing the fun. They'd rather face the fun house than her wrath at 1151, which is justice and the King of Swords. And that could be Libra energy. So again, this is someone skipping out on a mother or mother-in-law or queen who they know that they're wrath. So if they give you a gift or an honor, that means your business is going down. So the powers that be and their documents, right? They say that they're supporting the little people, and yet with the one signature, they can ruin somebody's life, and they certainly do. Their written word belong to the elite and not to the people, and yet, especially in the US, the government is elected by the people to serve the people, not to serve themselves. So the word belonging to the elite and not to the people, or just one word from her, and you are shut down. So I'm getting the queen in Alice in Wonderland with the sword, going around wanting to chop everybody's heads off. The workplace and the Queen of Wands reversed, the Page of Wands. The workplace with the Page of Wands reversed, frustrated, unable to conceive of or conceptualize something, unable to get excited or inspired, or in lack of peace with the Page of Pentacles reversed, trying to start over in love, but perhaps they missed their opportunity, and or vice versa. The mother wanting the children to work out their differences. The 3-volley salute or 3-gun salute from the people or a representative of the people, actually flattering herself, the high honor of the mature woman. So in her honoring the people, she's actually just honoring herself, saying, what good work I've done because I own the people, right? The people or representative of the people, actually flattering herself, the high honor of the mature woman, whose son is frustrated or frustrating her, or related by marriage only. The main female with father or relative in poor health, or in the big house perhaps, or the father who's worried sick that his daughter must deal with this woman in marrying her son. They interested in living in her palace. They are uninterested in living in her palace. And again, this is that energy of Harry not wanting to be there. they uninterested in living in her palace while others are homeless. Or older woman gets honored at work or receives condolences from the workplace or institution related to the daughter and father who they never visited when he was ill and dying. Or in other words, BS. So again, getting gifts from an institution who really doesn't give a crap about your life. Or loving lady, or loving colorful lady, inside and out. And again, in the animal spirit deck, the peacock is very much that. They're not just beautiful outside, they're beautiful inside as well. So the loving lady or colorful lady inside and out, impatient to love the wealthy man who didn't accept her for who she is. And again, this is coming up as the Cinderella story as well. He more attached to wealth or lifestyle and didn't understand her color, whether skin, personality, or heritage, or age difference. And she loves him anyway, and he loves her too, but won't admit it to anybody. Perhaps she's honored or gifted with a visit from married child, or fiancé with their spouse, or daughter who's about to be married, but father is ill and unable to leave the house. So those are all the energies coming up for today, and it was a whole lot. And now we're going back to the union read here. Okay. So the union read was done at 1:56 yesterday afternoon. 1 is the Magician, 56 is the Two of Swords, being in your knowing and keeping it to yourself, trying to keep your energy clear, or pretending not to know so you don't have to deal with the situation. Trying to keep your sanity, perhaps. The union read for 4D, 5D, 6D. For today, the new moon, the Six of Wands, the journey, the transition in the center, the death card, through the portal, the Ace of Pentacles at the end, that offer of a new life, or time, money, and effort. So on the journey, leading the way, through death and transition to a new life, a breakthrough, a groundbreaking plant. The incoming divine feminine, the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Page of Pentacles. The proposal or offer of help, the man from Greece, Disney, or The Office, with truth just below the surface, with buoy or lifeline marking the spot instead of X. The Page of Pentacles, curious about her abilities, or being creative with a new idea. The Knight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, perhaps siblings, with Lemurian or divine feminine truth between them, all finding their way there. Or the journey of the King of Pentacles, to bring the truth to the Page of Pentacles to see what she can do with it. And the 4D here is the Wheel, 4 of Orbs or Swords, and the 5 of Pentacles, the divine feminine destined to seal the collective in 3 planes of existence. Atom in the middle, ant on the edge, the divine masculine hermit in the Mary Magdalene cave, in exile from the group, with broken puzzle pieces to put back together in a cold place. Bridging in a peaceful place, deep in thought, meditating or salt water soak, or ocean water and the beach. A shadow of a man, and isolated female hermit. Who's who on first or second? Nobody is there, right here, and somebody is waiting. Abbott and Costello. 5D here is the Page of Swords, transition and solar deity, the sun. The divine feminine Page of Swords, or with a message to bring, climbing that cold mountain to Mount Eve rest. The divine masculine sunshine, peg as us, exposing all, fully energized in leaps and bounds, bridging in transition, portal, the tunnel, or an actual bridge, or lens, or in other words, perspective. The 6D of the Page of Cups, the lovers and the 4 of Cups, the divine feminine Page of Cups with their heart open wide to their lover, making a splash, or mermaid girl. Oh, that's interesting, because in the movie last night they called her Diner Girl, and I was getting the same energy with Mermaid Girl, right? Because she's different. Or maybe she's poor, right? The divine masculine on the rock in the middle of the sea, or that divine feminine leaping back and forth to ground on his rock and join the crowd looking up instead of down. Grounding and integrating God's love. Bridging as lovers or self-love with puff, or twin lovers up in a rainbow puff of smoke, coloring their world. The outgoing divine masculine is the Ace of Cups, 9 of Pentacles, and 2 of Wands, or two of Wands. the twin flames. The divine masculine exuding with love for their sovereign twin, offering a new life. The hermit in exile offering big love to sovereign, or vice versa, in the Garden of Eden, in a groundbreaking event, and then offering new life as twins to everyone else. Again, it's like that energy of paying forward. Diamonds in the rough are forever, like diamonds forever. Diamonds in the rough are forever. The divine feminine 4D high vibe, the 5D message or child, or air child, and the 6D puppy love of a water child. So it could be 2 children here, or just messages. Right? A lot of messages of air and messages of love. Right? The air message is the typical, online stuff, text, emails, or short messages, immature messages of children. But then the puppy love of the Page of Cups is very much that loving message. The divine masculine here in exile, getting juiced up, energized in the sun to expose all and be happy, grounding and integrating what it is to be alone under the star. And this GI can be, your GI tract as well. So the bridge here is the rest, break, the 5D connection, the salt water, meditation and beaches, and transition to the other side at 3:33 to, cross on through to the other side, across in a trance or a change in the way they sit with lovers and color, bridging in 4, 5, and 6D. So again, realize that the word trans, as in transition and lots of other trans words, trans also can be trance, which came up in the title yesterday about meditation and being silent within that trance state. Transition or transmutation, transformation. And then we had 333 there. The 369 of the 3D 45D, the bridge, and we're talking about London Bridge, and then the overall number here is 33, which is the 7 of Wands, the Christ vibration, standing up for oneself without being defensive. Like feeling worthy of standing up for yourself, not just your children, but standing up for you. And it's 1:24 on the clock. So again, that dark mother's coming up of the Queen of Wands. It's not saying all fire women are dark mothers. That's not the point here. The 7 of Wands, standing up for yourselves without getting triggered. The horizontal pillars is the 11, 0, and 22 of justice, source, and the fool. The vertical pillars, the 6 and the 1. 4, 9, 1, 9, 3 is the lovers, the magician, the emperor, the hermit, the magician, hermit, and empress. So 2 magicians and 2 hermits there. Yesterday, I think it was 2 chariots and 2 hierophants. So today it's more Virgo energy. Yesterday it was more Virgo and Gemini, whereas yesterday it was more Taurus and Cancer. So the message coming up here as justice of source for the fool who stands up for themselves. And the lover's magic, taking a risk to self-love in the sun with Mother Nature and Christ standing up for themselves, the Christ consciousness, standing up for love. The risk of the Emperor and the Hermit, of self-love, and magician embodiment with the Hermit, which is the wise one going within, to be abundant with the Empress or Sun, or the combination of them, right? The Empress and the Sun, and stand up and teach others about them. The unity consciousness. So Divine Feminine had Libra on her side with the Knight of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, but also the Page of Swords and the Page of Cups. So a lot of children on the feminine side and Libra. Perhaps taking in those other energies. The Divine Feminine had Leo on his side with the Sovereign. So perhaps he's taking in the Sovereign Leo. The twin and the 2 aces are twin flames. This is both twin. There's 2 aces. One's an Ace of Cups, I think, and Ace of Wands, which is also, there's 2 swords, though, 2 flames coming up as love and diamond light. Between the masculine and feminine is Scorpio and Gemini at rest. So again, like I said, my cardinal showed up yesterday from 351 to 52, which is the King and Queen of Swords, with the Empress, with their shades shown again. It was the same exact bird. They were so cute. Okay. And again, and egg was coming up again here with egg noodles. And spinning it. So I wrote spinach and mushrooms, but it came up as spinning it and mustard. I'm getting a clue. I'm getting Colonel Mustard in the kitchen, I guess. Colonel Mustard in the kitchen? Okay, so now we have the twin flame read at 3:59, which is the 11th hour, the minute before the hour. The new moon for today, the 7th, and at 4:11, NGTH came up. Right, which is half of strength. But NG, I'm getting nitrogen, and then TH is to the nth degree, so that's like an explosive energy at 4:11, which is explosive information, right? Because 411 is a information emergency as opposed to a health emergency. At 4:22, I completed the read, which is the Emperor and the 22 of the Fool and the Fool's Journey. But it's also a power number, which requires more from you, but you get more back in return with those power numbers, 11, 22, 33, and 44. So the twin flame read has major arcana of the Lovers, the Indigo, which is the Magician, but in a very young energy. The Strength card, which is the Tiger, the Bengal Tiger jumping through the ring of fire. Before the read, Reflection of the Hermit, and after the read is the Emperor, or Reason, and the Chariot, so he's got the vehicle. We have 5 wands, a lot of fire here, 1 cup, 1 sword, 1 pentacle. So we had 411, and here we have 5111. So if 4 is information, 5 we know is change. So this is an emergent change here. A lot of change is happening simultaneously. The Queen of Wands comes up here with the Page of Wands, the Page of Pentacles, and after the read, the Page of Cups and the Queen of Swords. Before the read, the King of Wands and King of Pentacles. So the kings are clustered before the read. The queens with all the children are in the read and after the read. We have the 22 as the main double number of the read, which is again is the Fool and the Fool's Journey. But also that power number of the Earth. It's the 4, which is about survival on this planet. The power, the ability to survive. And then we have the 56 of the 2 of Swords, being your knowing, and the 10 of the high vibration and the destiny, the turn for the better. We also have the 25 of the Knight of Wands, the 68 of the Page of Pentacles, and the 810, which is 0 behind the 81, which from the numerology book, The Divine Triangle, is the end of karma around the world. So the code line here, there were no numerology cards here on the code line today. The number was 2107. So I don't know if that year is going to be something significant next century. But it came from 2105 plus 2, which is the High Priestess and the feminine energy. So it's like saying peaking out the feminine energy by 2107 perhaps, but that's also the 21 of the world and the 7 of the Chariot, the world's ascension, 2107, which also reduces to 10, and the other numbers reduce to 19, which is those 1 energies. So the sun and destiny and going into the feminine, 2107. Very interesting. I don't think I'll be alive 2107. That's pushing it, I think, for me. But wouldn't that be interesting if I was? All right, so the messages here. The messages here of the mama, and that could be the mammy as well. The mama. Mammy, mama, or calling someone ma'am. The mama egg, or saying no to the egg, right, which is the reference to the mother and child. The wise one queen, being very clear of the 2 in high vibration, expanding or freeing themselves, destined. The lovers, seeking the Page of Pentacles, twins, off without each other. It's like the mother noticing that they're off when they're not with their twin. The mama's voice or the mama's sound, their water of emotions. The wise one of the 2, the feminine energy, perhaps 10 to 5. Maybe somebody's working 10 to 5. But also that's like the 5 and dime energy. Instead of the 5 and dime, it's going the other way, 10 to 5, right? The dime and 5. Oh, that's diamond. Diamond 5. Or 2 destined to change, and again, change is the 5. The lovers in seeing the key opportunity of when the twin is off balance. The mama's fire, or mother queen bee, basically, or Sagittarius high priestess, which can be that reference to the Queen of Wands, secret with high vibe destiny, or these numbers came up, area codes or however they reference to you, take them how you receive them. The numbers 215, which is a Philadelphia area code, but also 210 came up, and 25, which is the Knight of Wands. And the lovers seeking change, or E, which is change, freedom, expansion, the Elohim, Eve, energy, all of those energies come up with E. The seeker of Christ like twin, that they are off without them. The mama's mother, so the grandmother's coming up here as well, the mama and the mother, keeping an eye on the queen, who's queen to 10. 5 are the lovers, and 2 seekers of crystals who are unequal. Like, so 2 pages of pentacles who are not equal or off balance with each other, right? And nothing's ever going to be perfectly even. That's not the point. It's keeping the energies moderate and close to the center so that you don't become polarized and throw the other off completely in the dance. So the Queen of Wands starts out the read in the underlying energy. She's upright. And beneath that is the King of Wands reversed, the King of Pentacles reversed, reflection, which is the Hermit upright, and the 8 of Wands upright. So a lot of fire right here. The King of Wands and King of Pentacles both reversed, whether that's one person and their 2 sides of their personality at work and at home, or 2 different men who are either upset or, you know, they're in a negative aspect of themselves, right? One could be very abusive and the other one is all about money, so it could be abusive at work. Reflecting an energetic exchange with the Queen of Wands upright. So these 2 kings with the Queen of Wands upright in energetic exchange. Choosing a new path. This could be 2 men fighting for 1 woman as well. Choosing a new path, perhaps the twin flame path, or giving the 2 men an ultimatum or walking away. So these also could be partners. And she's giving the ultimatum to them. The Page of Wands, and this could be, you know, this could be, they're obviously husband and wife with the King of Wands and Queen of Wands. They could be siblings as well. But it could be her giving them a choice or an ultimatum, and the other guy could be, you know, a partner, could be a sibling of theirs that's not her sibling. It could be maybe they're in a relationship. There's a, you know, masculine relationship. Maybe they're both keeping it a secret. Maybe somebody's married and they're gay, so they're keeping a gay relationship under the radar, so the actual married couple's not actually having sex, and the other person knows about it, but they're no longer wanting to put up with it, so they may want to leave the relationship or the partnership. That could be coming up. But we have a lot of fire here, family, because we have not only the King of Wands and Queen of Wands, but we have the Page of Wands, and the Knight of Wands comes up as well. The Page of Wands is inspired to surrender, perhaps along with the Queen of Wands, or by the wounded warriors. They may be inspired by the wounded warriors' surrender. Out in the cold, left behind, in exile, injured or ill, but the player is satisfied in falling short, or in breaking up, or paralyzed by their passions, and without affection, and the Page of Wands excited to work together with the Empress upright, and the foolish jealous one, or the nutcase who fell for the schmoozer, Knight of Cups reversed, or fell and was rejected, wearing their heart on their sleeve, or the Knight of Cups reversed, falling off the edge and taking their innocent friend or pup with them. At 4:53, the Emperor and the Knight of Swords, or the mother is keeping an eye on the Fool reversed and the Knight of Cups reversed, perhaps at the workplace. One foolish, one jealous, perhaps, or the Empress is in need of ice cream, or they're getting too hot and moody. Playing with greens, putting on weight due to ice cream and nuts after snub by the one refusing to love, or the Knight of Cups reversed, which can be rejection, jealousy, moodiness, or schmooziness, just someone who's not really being loved. There's 2 knights reversed here, right? The Knight of Cups and the Knight of Wands. with the Page of Wands upright and the Empress upright between them at work. Or the mother kicked out the two knights who were being bad influence or being mean to the Page of Wands' younger sibling. The Wands family all over this section right here. The Sovereign's upright, out sitting pretty. So this could be a child to the King of Pentacles who's reversed, but the Sovereign's upright, an independent person no matter what age. Out sitting pretty, checking on things, perhaps out looking to see what's going on, in a slowdown with the Hermit's guidance. When that can be a professional, that can be a Virgo, it can be an old grandparent who's wise. But their guidance, when they're feeling insecure or when they're feeling like they don't have the tools, they're going to this Hermit for guidance. Libra reverse, bending over backward to help from out in the cold, while the Magician or Gemini may be manipulating, or two sides of Virgo here. Insecure student and wise teacher. Or the Sovereign is the Virgo and the Magician reversed is Libra Virgo or Gemini reversed. And releasing your ex is the cards and the underlying energy, and beneath that unrequited love. So there's unrequited love that needs to be released here in the underlying energy. Falling on face from grace or embarrassing self in front of their dream girl or in front of the wealthy family, business, or community, mirroring to recover from loss or regret, with the King of Wands reversed, not showing affection, to the Emperor reversed, and or vice versa. So here this Emperor reversed could be that King of Pentacles reversed. The King of Pentacles reversed may be that Emperor reversed with the King of Wands, so it could be the same person. Usually where there's grief, there'd be hugs and warm feelings, but not here, getting over it by not showing affection, nor control over self. All right, so someone's not, instead of where they normally would have tried to control their feelings or whatever, they're not here, and they're not showing affection either. No more matching boots to get over sadness. The Emperor reversed out of control here, no longer able to keep it together for everyone else. No more postman or deliveries. No mail today due to the holiday. Or healing with the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles. And the Knight of Cups reversed. Right? Someone who's jealous or rejected or schmoozing up to everybody else, or perhaps to the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles is upright in this read to the King of Pentacles who's reversed. So the Knight of Cups might be with an unhappy family or an ending to an emotional cycle of unhappiness, jealousy, rejection, and just no love, with the 66 of the Queen of Pentacles, and karmic completion of the number 10, which was destined to be a high vibration. So being weak, the King of Pentacles reversed, destined to escape out the back, or ghost, steal, lie, or cheat, or steal to get out of there, to offer love or receive love from the Queen of Swords upright and the Knight of Wands upright, perhaps children or friends, with Leo reversed and Libra upright, or the King of Pentacles reversed, escaping from them, the Queen of Swords and the Knight of Wands. Perhaps with an eye on the prize, the Queen of Swords may be royalty, and the Knight of Wands, they may like their legs, so they may be sexy. So there may be two women here. They're choosing between one who's royal and one who's got good legs, and they're sexy. So elephant blowing something up, the Queen of Swords' ass, or anxious to offer her a seat on his trunk with an eye on the moon cycles as well. And that can be reference to their menstrual cycles. The Knight of Wands, so again, that was the elephant blowing something, and this is the one who never forgets, whether it's a man or a woman, blowing something up, whether it's just blowing air or whatever they're doing, right? The Queen of Swords, or anxious to offer her a seat on his trunk, and that can be a sexual connotation, and an eye on the moon cycles as well, right? So this could be a couple too, like wanting to know if she has her period because they want to have sex. The Knight of Wands upright and the Queen of Wands upright, which are either can be lovers or siblings, or really anyone else, two fire signs, may be jealous and insecure or manipulative with the Emperor reversed. They may be kissing up to the Emperor to get their way. Or the Knight of Wands is upright with the Queen of Wands upright and the Knight of Cups reversed without the Emperor's tools, or were stolen from them, and he's healing over that, the Emperor. The underlying energy here is about the flame ignited to walk away, and going forward after this read is being weak and out of control in their ego, or sick after a sudden event, or exchange, or epiphany, or sex. The Ten of Pentacles upright, family, business, or community, fighting or competing and conflicted with the Page of Swords, or a message to the twin, or about their choice of path to or for the kids or pets. I'm starting to sweat here. All right, so At 521 is the Hierophant and the World. Leo, vacation, sun and fun, and full exposure of the Queen of Swords reversed, who could be an Aquarius reversed, or her need to swallow her pride and heed the call, or is holding back an announcement. At 523, the Hierophant and the King of Wands in the recent past is the Indigo reversed, with no proposal, no magic performance, the High Priestess reaping rewards of the Knight of Swords rushing in with the truth, and the Queen of Pentacles reversed coming clean or cleaning up, needing to swallow their pride with justice, Libra, divorce, or a block or an inability to function, or out of work, stubborn, or refusing to move. Not walking away, the King of Pentacles reversed and the Sovereign upright, which can be a father and child or siblings, or this can be a couple as well, but she'd be much younger than him in this situation. Now with new information and possibly knocked off balance. With the helicopter right over my house right at that moment at 526, the Hierophant and the Page of Wands, where the Chariot's reversed, where it's stuck or broken down, or they broke up or broke through, with the Six of Cups reversed in a falling out in the past, or a bad childhood, or difficult children. Perhaps these children may have a secret stash. The foundation being the Two of Cups upright, partners in a split, hung out to dry, or hanging out with the King of Cups who's upright, broken, stuck, and ending pain, in a painful ending with the Empress, or the Empress may be a pain in the ass here. The central energy is the Five of Wands upright, conflicted by the inability to function, stubbornness, synchronicities, or too many options. In the aftermath of the Knight of Swords is delivery or news, and the challenge being the Lover's reversed, which is lack of affection or a breakup. The Magician reversed, insecure and clingy here, with Atlas, burdens, and the weight and the world, while another is sitting there satisfied watching them do all the work. Gemini and Scorpio both reversed here. Separation or disappointment of the Queen of Wands upright watching the kids having fun in the sun while they suffer in silence, or the Knight of Swords is. Patient angel or Saggy release, an energetic exchange, juggling, performing, healing and shining their light, yet suffering in silence or dealing with their sister, or stressed out over the Two of Cups connection with the Queen of Wands and split with the Devil, the ball and chain, or Capricorn waving, or temptation to end the war and reap the rewards with the Emperor reversed. Now here is the Two of Swords reversed, clarity floating on air, feeling numb, with the Two of Cups partners, perhaps with a spoiled child. This could be partnering up with a spoiled child as well, or a very sensitive child, the wounded warrior suffering in silence or having nightmares of the Devil, Knight of Wands, perhaps embarrassed by an offer of love by the Queen of Cups reversed, with clarity after death, or the Grim Reaper, right? The one who's reaping rewards but is grim, even still. Sealed Divine Feminine, the world at large, juggling, performing, keeping their balls up in the air, right? The daily grind, feeling a failure under the radar, unstable or moving, visiting, or in uncomfortable energies of the King of Swords reversed, the heartbreaker, without peace, fantasizing about working together, but uncomfortable in past fallout with third party and the harsh truth or lies, or of the lies, and the King of Pentacles reversed needing to swallow their pride, or humbled by a breakup, or lack of affection from a negative group or bad influences, or third party, and working to align with the Ten of Pentacles family, business, or community, or heaven on earth, in need of courage, strength, and good health, or a fitness routine. Soon here's the Page of Wands upright, coming full circle and rising above, awake with the Queen of Swords reversed, with an opportunity, or a good student, or two women and their children meet. Awake at night, or to Cancer, post-war, and this is at 544, which is the Hierophant and that Four of Cups, grounding and integrating and mastering of love. So post-war, looking back at the Devil waving, with abusive King of Wands reversed over it, and the Hierophant upright, marriage, religion, establishment, or Taurus, and Libra. And I wrote justice, but I was getting autistic right there. Taurus and Libra, justice or autistic, divorce, and the King of Cups, perhaps a Cancer or unconditional love. The twin flames seeing themselves as the Ten of Wands upright, that Atlas and the weight of the world, and the Hierophant released from prison, The Knight of Wands is reversed, the Page of Swords reversed, both of them healing, or with an Aquarius upright. The Emperor reversed may be bored of offering love to someone who ignores them, and grounding and integrating their release. Playfulness, religious factors, stay optimistic, and new love all come up very significantly for the twins here. Around the twins are how they're seen. Around the twins are how they're seen is the Six of Wands, reversed, under the radar in energetic exchange, after death or clinging to let go and to fix or make amends, sharing in energetic exchange, or getting out in the pursuit of happiness, or to get over loss and regret. And the energetic exchange can be hours of love as well. Communication, travel, whatever it is, it's a lot of energy back and forth. The challenge being the Page of Pentacles, who's curious about their abilities, but these abilities may be seen as the devil in their family religion, or the King of Wands reversed, refusing to even look at temptation, keeping it away from them. So very significantly here we have forgiveness, love, and creativity. The Ten of Cups reversed, and it's all blue energy, so it's all about the throat chakra there, throat to the third eye. The Ten of Cups reversed, the cycle overdone, fried eggs, perhaps green ham is coming up too, but fried eggs with the Knight of Cups reversed, jealous and weak and indecisive, afraid to go through the ring of fire, that circle of trust, and standing up to others, playing hardball, or withholding to magnetize the gold coin, which is that unity consciousness. Working with the family, business, or community who are egotistical or elitist, with patient angel of a higher love. Perhaps a pet had passed and kids are recovering. The Queen of Wands and the Two of Cups partnership, burdened by failure or working out under the radar, being insecure and conflicted and challenged by a breakup or a lack of affection here, with the Page of Wands and Page of Pentacles, with new information and a need to be strong. And again, that could be children who may have lost a pet, because they're both upright and reversed in this read. So the Queen of Wands and the Indigo reversed Knight of Wands in partnership, and again, they could be siblings, conflicted about new information that came in and challenged by lack of affection or breakup, and again, that could be a loss of a pet. Atlas, the weight of the world, and slave labor come up again, working out hard. The Page of Wands excited under the radar, though, about the Page of Pentacles and in need of courage and a higher love. And these could be two people and their inner children trying to come together as well, like excited to see each other again. Yeah, because it looks like the Knight of Wands and the Page of Swords are together, may have lost the pet, but the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles look like they're really excited to come together, in need of courage and to stay in that higher love. So let's pull a couple oracle cards quick for you and see what comes up. It's 1:50 on the clock, and it's 1:13:19. It was here. 1:13:19 is the Magician, Death, and the Sun. And then 1:50 is the Magician and emotional fulfillment of the family, that Ten of Cups, which is also just emotional fulfillment, completion there. Happy ending, things working out, the cycle complete in an emotional sense. So making magic in that sense. All right, so what is our takeaway from this? And again, we had release of Sagittarius energies, Leo coming up significantly, which also can be ego and children, pets. And then the number 9 of the Virgo energy that we're in now in the month of September. The collective consciousness, the wise one. All right, let's see what the cards come up with. Take a deep breath. What is the closing energy for this read? What is the takeaway? Okay, we have the Cobra. And the Cobra always comes up as when the student is ready, the teacher will come. And this also is about the Kundalini rising up all the way to the crown. And there's the little sweet otter who's looking the other way because the fox is there with them. So it looks like they're seeing the teacher together. There could be a third as well who doesn't want to be there. But God said that they have to be. And remember, Saggy is going away. You have to do this without my help. Okay? So it's like getting counseling without their help. Right? Because you are pieces of me. You can do this on your own. All you need to do is decide what's right for you. And this for some could be finding the right teacher. And the wolf is like, really? Do I have to? And this is like God saying, yes, it's time you do this on your own without my help. All right, so, and they're very sweet. So the otter and the fox coming together, and maybe the wolf needs to be present and be neutral, right? This can be a mediator as well, or it could be the third party situation where three energies get together to make peace with each other, with a mediator or teacher here. This is also with the Kundalini, right? Completely risen up to the crown. And again, we were talking about the crown with the queen as well today. And that could be the queen with their children as well, because children and pets were coming up a lot in the read today. So it looks like God's taking a break to hang out with the raccoon, right? The raccoon with the mask. And this can reference the masculine as well, right? Because I had the cardinal out back too with the mask and the shades on, right? They don't want to be seen. They're not even going in the trash anymore because they're hiding out, very depressed. So here God is taking the time out to work with those who are lagging behind in their lessons, perhaps. You know, helping those who are really struggling and behind. The bottom of the deck is the octopus, which is all about creating boundaries, and they have their thinking cap on, but it's a very colorful one, that rainbow light of intuition covering their head. And the octopus also has like independent brains in some of their limbs, I believe all of their limbs. But again, this is the energy of creating boundaries using your intuition. And there's the unicorn, right, using your third eye, now that the collective is awakening in the world. And the world is in the octopus's head. The weight of the world is on their head, but they need to create boundaries. So let's see here with the Journey of Love. And we're going to read the Cobra and the Journey of Love card that comes out. And the Cobra is fire. And we have the sweet little otter who's very well balanced. The fox may not be as balanced as the otter is. The otter is the friendliest, most innocent energy of the deck. But the fox is more in their confidence and their sacral energy. So they're very sexually or disposed, or they're very confident in themselves, perhaps wanting to find a mate. And the wolf is like, you know, that's that parent, right? The wolf is the head of the wolf pack who no longer is supposed to tell their kids what to do. They're supposed to be neutral in the situation, which just like God is, you know, Mr. Ed is stepping aside. So allowing them to decide things for themselves, or allowing them to choose their own teachers, who they want to follow, or who they want to learn from. All right, so here is the Journey of Love. Nope, there's two. First one is the void. 40 is that innocent energy of the Page of Cups, just like the otter, which is very smooth and high vibrational. All the colors are upper chakra energies. And then we have sacred convergence, which wanted to come out with it. So the pull to sacred convergence is what I'm getting here. Because this came out, but this pulled out with it. So this is the pull to sacred convergence, which again, this is for me is 9/11 memorial with the where is actually in another dimension is a place where they gather. So it's energies of the Pleiadians, which have come as in a spaceship to the Statue of Liberty. And in this card for me, they're showing me this at the 9/11 memorial, that not in the 3D, but in the dimension they're in here, there actually is like a meeting place for them. The 0 point, the void. It's like the womb, the tunnel, the portal. And the 28 is the twin flames. It's that choice of path, the choice of portal, of the innocent ones. It could be where they're taking the kidnapped children. Some of them they're taking right off planet to other planets to heal them. So this could be a place where they're taking the children to a safe space so they can heal. This card also wants to be seen, the acceptance, and here's the fairy tale, right? The enchanted forest and the acceptance of the truth that is love. And there's someone bearing witness to this love. Right, the Cinderella story. And the bottom of the deck, there's Paul and Linda on their album, right? Right, being an example of the of that couple who can walk through the conflict, who can walk through the twister, you know, to be of it but not to be in it but not of it, right? Being the vortex but able to walk through the cyclone as well without being harmed. The dance of the planets, the 56 of being in your knowing and keeping out of the fray. And there's the blood dance of the 42, the Two of Cups, right? The two hearts beating as one in the dance of the planets. So again, it's the masculine and the feminine, and then the vertical as well. Right, so the blood dance of the as above, so below, and the masculine and feminine dance of the planets, the 56. So referencing the planetary dance similar to the human dance. And I'm getting the Mars and Venus reference there as well. All right, so Linda, is there something else that you wanted to bring across here? I'm seeing the inner workings of the wheel, like of a car. You know, if you take the tire off, the inner wheel part. Because I've been noticing them lately. You know how they get really rusty on the inside? But that's what she's showing me, the inner workings of the wheel. And then now that's taking me to Gandhi and the water wheel. So the sewing wheel and the water wheel, like going back to basics and how the wheel was invented, and she's connecting with me now. The basics of how things were invented, that things are much simpler than we think they are. Things don't have to be complicated. We just have to hold hands and walk through the fire together. That's the message. And there's the walking through the fire, is the blood beating through the heart. The blood dance of the Two of Cups. Of just being with each other without having to say a word, right? Because you understand the love between you. And that's all of it. That's all you need to know. All you need is love. All you need is love. So that's coming up. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. And that came up as one of the numerology cards today as well. All right, guys, I have to read you the Cobra, which is fire. Opened right up. Pausing, waiting, the inner teacher. The Cobra represents a teacher or spiritual guardian. The Cobra hovers and watches, ever present, ever protecting, ever loving. This essence of the Cobra is found deep within us in the form of the inner teacher, and manifests externally in those special guides who've led us along our path. What would it feel like to be a student again? What are you ready to learn? Remember the old saying, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. When they're in balance, they're a student of life, humble and wise. But when they're out of balance, they're a know-it-all and egocentric. To bring it back into balance, take a class or study. So again, when someone gets snobby or elitist, it's time to go back and be a teacher again, to humble yourself. So that's coming up. And the journey of love, which was the void, was the first one. The void is a simple one. Let's see. At the ending of every cycle and the beginning of every cycle, there's a moment of transition. It may last for any moment of time, a moment of feeling, or many years of deep inner work whilst feeling displaced. The transition may require patience to endure the absence of knowing, the lack of certainty about who you are, and why you're here on this planet. A void may open up between one moment of meeting with your lover and the seemingly endless stretch of time, even if it's only days that seem as though they are eternal in duration as you wait to reconnect again. Yet if you can accept that entry into the cosmic void as preparation for your next cycle of manifestation, if you can accept that darkness is holding you with love and not with unfeelingness, then you can relax and let that preparation be what it must be. Then you can be well equipped for the next steps forward on your glorious divine adventure this lifetime, meeting the beloved, whether divine or human lover, in a fresh new moment, excited, open, and curious. Always. This oracle brings you guidance. There are parts of your own process unfolding that you simply cannot know about yet. It will not always be this way, but for now it's the most helpful for you to only deal with what is immediately before you. All else will be shown when the time is right. There is growing to be done, and then the void will bring forth the next step on your path to meet you. You do not have to worry, and you do not have to search. Be present, be patient, and when you can do something, do it. When you cannot, just be. Your time will soon come. If you're holding a question about relationship, surrender it to the void and let it become what it must be according to spiritual wisdom and love. A coming together, a blending of one, where understanding spans the space between and separation disappears to form anew. Remember your water, your sleep, your joy, and your nature, and be your own teacher. And breathe. Breathe. Rise and be love. I'll see you soon, guys. Bye.